and welcome back to the Finn Invasion podcast. I'm your host, Autumn Finn, and I know I might sound a little different right now, and it is because I am not a very happy girl right now, and I will get into why in a second. But one of the reasons I wanted to record this episode is because I wanted to capture this moment in real time. I've always wanted this podcast to be honest and raw and vulnerable, and I've always wanted to be able to create a kind of time capsule and look back at different emotions that I was feeling at different times in my life. And this is, I've been doing so good, and then today I'm not doing so great, and so I want to be able to just really, really capture it before there's any resolution or any real closure in this. So I'm going to first of all crack open this Mike's Harder green apple, because sometimes life, is sour. Let me make sure I'm recording on my computer. Yes, I am. Okay. So, for those of you who are watching this, I'm currently wearing a red dress. It is a beautiful red dress that my mom got for my birthday. Over the weekend, October 8th was my birthday, and I'm also wearing a necklace my dad got me for my birthday. But I also decided, I was originally going to wear a green shirt because the two main colors of the podcast are purple and green. But I decided to wear red because today's episode is going to be about love and dating and romance and that whole thing. And I have a lot that I want to say. Let me refer to my notes real quick to make sure I get all of my points across. So, I wrote down something, and it goes, the strongest emotions you feel are the ones when you are feeling more emotions than you can count all at once. And you know what? Everything I'm about to say, I might be embarrassing myself, but I truly, this is one of those moments where I can say, I truly don't think I'm alone in what I'm feeling right now. I truly believe that so many people out there are probably feeling exactly the way that I am. So let's take a sip. And by one sip, I mean two. I wrote down a list of feelings that I have right now. I feel silly. I feel stupid. I feel naive, childish, sad, annoyed, frustrated at myself, a bit humiliated, insecure, confused, and even a little bit crazy. This is definitely going to be the most honest episode that I've ever done, by the way. I really don't want to cry. I really, truly don't. But then again, maybe that would get me views, And that is, at the end of the day, I do want to get views, you know what I'm saying? Sorry for the allergies. Hopefully I can cut that out. So I wrote down, I want to share with you guys some habits, and then I'm going to share with you what I'm feeling right now. So I want to talk about love and dating, like I said. So I'm just going to be completely open, 100% honest, even if this is something I wasn't planning on sharing. So I have been single since I was 20 years old. So that's about 6 years. I just turned 21 on Sunday. That was, as of right now, that was 5 or 4 days ago or something. I had my last breakup in January, shortly after New Year's of 2018. Yes, 2018. So that was technically, calendar-wise, it was about 5 years ago, but it feels more like 6. Actually, it feels more like a fucking 1,000. And for those first 2 years at post-breakup, maybe even 3 years, I was going through a lot of trauma, and I couldn't really put myself around men very much. By the way, I just want to say real quick, if you're listening to this and you are my parent, maybe skip this episode, please. Like, I'm about to get so personal, and I do not want y'all knowing this shit about me. Like, sorry, not sorry. I barely want... I would prefer strangers listening to this episode, because I just want to relate to people. And Mom, Dad, I'm sure you felt this way before, maybe in your past, but this is about me. You know what I'm saying? And so I just... whatever. maybe opt out of this episode. So anyways, I've recently just sort of come to grips with these, like, okay, so here's a full history. I was going through really bad trauma from like 2018 to like right before 2020. And I just couldn't be around men for reasons that, you know, I'm sure I'll discuss on here in the future, but just not quite yet. I'm only at episode 5, you know what I mean? And then finally I got back into the groove of it, and I'm still on dating apps, and I was on dating apps like nobody's business. Bro, I was on dating apps so much, I got banned from Tinder. Don't ask me why. Don't know what I did wrong. Don't know how I got fucking... Still to this day, I don't know how I fucking got banned. I literally messaged them. I like emailed them. I was like, hey, Tinder, what did I do? I didn't send nudes. You can't send nudes on there. I wouldn't have sent nudes. I'm too insecure for that. It's okay. I wasn't upset or anything. It's not like I could have met the love of my life on there for all I know. Look, I'm sure it's not the best place to... Oh, and I just got a Bumble notification. That's quite interesting. Who is he? Am I going to get a live reaction? No, Autumn, don't do it. Curiosity. Oh, 2 new messages. Well, don't mind if I do later. Don't mind if I do later. When I was really young, I would never go like too much more than a year without a relationship. My first relationship was when I was 15. And then I had another relationship, when I was like 17. And then another one when I was 19, about to turn 20, and then that was my last one, and I've been single ever since. But the longest I had gone without a relationship was like 2 years, and the longest I had gone without like being in the process of like talking to a guy I liked was like just a few months, really. It's just been nonstop. But then, you know, past 6 years as a fully grown adult. And as a woman, like, society teaches you that if you're still single when you're, like, in your 30s, and obviously I'm not in my 30s, I'm only 26 right now, that, like, there's something wrong with you. And so even though I am still 26, freshly 26, I still can't help but feel like there's something wrong with me because I have been single for so long. Let me drink to that. Recently, people at my work have been making jokes, you know, in a non-malicious way, but it still has cut a little bit deep. The other day, on my birthday, actually, Sunday, October 8th, these guys, I was like at least 5 to 6 years older than everyone else on the clock. Like, I was older than everyone else who was working that day, and people were like, man, you're like 26 and you've been single for so long, like, you know, it's time to settle down. It's time to like find the one and get married. And it's like, bitch, what do you think I've been doing the past, like, let me tell you something about hookup culture. Let me tell you something about... Okay, if a girl is in her, like, quote-unquote, again, Mom, Dad, stop listening. Sarah, you can keep listening. That's my sister. If you're in your quote-unquote hoe phase, if you're a woman, and maybe even if you're a guy. Actually, yes. If you are a girl or guy or anyone in between, and you are in your hoe phase, in quotation marks, and you meet the love of your life, 100% of people will decide to prematurely end their quote-unquote whole phase and go for this person. If you meet someone that you think is the love of your life or who you have romantic potential with, guess what? You're gonna fucking date them regardless. If you genuinely see potential, what are you gonna do? Walk away? Fuck no. Are you kidding me? So it's like, now, over the past several years, have I been maybe attracting the right kind of people? Probably not. And I don't even think it's because of my behavior. I've met nice guys over the past several, years. I've met perfectly fine, nice guys, but they just weren't what I wanted. Or more specifically, I didn't have a spark with them. I didn't have that thing, that inexplicable thing. You can't force that. You can't force that. You can't rush that. That is the kind of thing that happens organically, right? They say like, oh, when you know, you know, you know. And I didn't know. And I haven't known. Drink to that. Pardon me. I have just been... By the way, I hope you guys drink along with me when I'm doing my podcasts, because I always have a drink next to me, especially during my solo episodes, because they can get intense, and this one will very much get intense. This is so corny, and I've never said this publicly, and this might come as a surprise to you, to some of you who've met me in person, because I am so just a silly, goofy guy, and I kind of talk about sex a lot, and I kind of talk about very much like casual dating and like hookup culture, and that's sort of what I've been enthralled in. But if I had to choose between being in a relationship or being single, I would choose the relationship. Believe it or not, I'm actually quite good at being in a relationship, and I have wanted to be in a relationship for a very long time now. I am very, very, very bored of being single. It has been a long time. I don't like it anymore. It's not very fun. It's very empty, at least for me. Definitely not for everyone, but at least for me. And not every woman feels this way. And to those who are 100% satisfied being single, I am very envious of you. I don't know how you do it. I know this sounds corny, but like right now, kind of where I'm at, when I think about my future, I would love to be a wife and mother. I really would. I know that's not the most feminist thing in the whole world. And don't get me wrong, I want to have a successful career and I want to be a successful podcaster, but if I had to choose, I just feel like I'd be so... When I think about a relationship and what a relationship means to me, it's like being able to have a partnership and to have a best friend. And they say, I forgot who quoted this, but it was something like romance and is friendship on fire. And it's like you're the best friend, they're the love of your life, they are your soulmate, they are, your partner in crime, they are your confidant. And I don't think that one single person can be everything you need. I think that's a little bit unrealistic. But I do think that having one person that is like one of the top 3 most important people in your life, or maybe top 5, whatever, is really beautiful. And I miss that. I miss having like the person that you text every morning. Like I miss good morning texts. I miss good night texts. I haven't had that in so long. And I feel so just pathetic, like sitting here missing it and being so lonely. But God damn it, I know I'm not the only person feeling this way. So I was talking about what a relationship means to me. I would love to have someone who I could make happy every single day, and who is my partner, who I can create like a unity with, like a partnership with, and our relationship can be whatever we want it to be and whatever we define it to be. And I know that I could be such a good partner if I just found the right person. And I don't mean to get emotional, but like I guess I'll dig deeper into that, and I'll tell you why I'm not a very happy girl today. And I'm about to say one of the most relatable things ever. Here's why I'm upset. The boy I really like isn't texting me back, and I'm more upset about it than I'm comfortable with. And I'm embarrassed by how much it's hurting and affecting me. Drink to that. I am not the only girl on this planet that feels that way right now. And whenever I don't get a response, my mind always defaults to like the worst case scenario. Even if when I try to talk myself out of it, and it's just so hard. And one of the things that I always have to validate myself about is I have to say, Autumn, you're not being crazy. You're just being human. You know, like, and it's so crazy because we rarely give ourselves permission to just be imperfect and just feel what we are organically feeling and what everyone fucking goes through. Like, if I were to go through all of the things that I'm feeling, and I were to say just, I'm feeling so hurt for kind of no reason. This person I really like hasn't responded to me in 2 days, and it's like confusing me and hurting me because the last time we hung out, he was saying really romantic things, and it feels like he's not following through, and I'm starting to feel played, and it's like, if someone were to describe all these feelings to me, I would be like, dude, you're not crazy. Like, you're just human. This is very common feelings. But somehow when I myself am feeling it, and I'm telling my own mind that this is what I'm feeling, I'm like, oh my God, you are so pathetic, Autumn. Like, you're so crazy for feeling this way. Like, oh my God, you're being so dramatic. Like, you are just out of control. Like, stop getting so caught up about a guy that you like and you barely know him. And like, this is when the emotions are really like, when you just met someone, maybe try to not go to the worst case scenario right away. You know what I fucking mean? I'm not gonna name any names, obviously, because this person does follow my podcast account, but if he's listening, he knows who he is. Guy I met literally last week. But when you have a connection and when you have like, you feel something special, and when you see potential, it's hard to let that go, and it's hard to, it's just natural to fall into it, you know, and everyone around you, every fucking person around you tells you, don't get too caught up in the moment, like, take it slow, like, just take time to get to know each other, like, don't get caught up in a fantasy. But oh my God, that is my middle fucking name, is getting caught up in a goddamn fantasy. Like, that is literal. I'm so good at that. I am better at that than, like, I think anything else. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lyric from a song by Lainey, and I think the song is called Breakup. And the lyric goes, and my mama always said, I take it slow. But how the hell do you fall in love? Last time I checked, you can't fall in slow-mo. You think you want... Anyways, great song. But, yeah, if there's one feeling I've missed, it's the feeling of, do I miss being in love? Or do I miss... What do I miss? You know, because I haven't had it in so long. I met a guy last week, and it's so new, but it's the most potential I've seen in years, and I've fully accepted in my heart, like, oh, never gonna see him again, never gonna see him, because he hasn't responded in 2 days, and that's all it takes for me to completely lose hope, because my trust issues are through the roof. My romantic abandonment issues are also absolutely through the fucking roof. And when it reaches this point, when you're feeling hopeless, and when you're feeling powerless and when you're feeling pathetic, most importantly, when you're like, oh my God, I'm so stupid for believing in this. It's not about the guy anymore. Whoever he is, it's not about him, girl. It's about you. It's about how you're feeling. It's about what this guy represents. If you are in my position where you've been single for a long time and you've been longing for a relationship and for a companionship, it's not about this guy. He's not special. It is about, or he might be special, but the core issue and the foundation of this issue is that he represents hope for a future and hope for a relationship that you might want and potential. That's what it is. The foundation of this is potential. And because you see potential that you haven't seen in a long time and it's unfamiliar and it's exciting, if it starts going wrong or it starts feeling like it's going to fall apart again, or you start getting deja vu, you start feeling the same patterns of trauma that you have felt in the past and the same feelings of, oh gosh, I'm so insecure. Oh goodness, he's going to fucking walk away. Guys always disappear. That is what it's about. It's not about that specific person. It's about like feeling like you can never win and feeling like you are going to be alone forever and feeling like it is just simply impossible to meet the right guy. And I'll tell you what, I am damn near close to just like giving up on love completely. And one thing that this guy that I really like said to me last week when we were hanging out, he was like, oh, how has no one locked you down yet? And like, what a nice thing to say, you know, what a great thing to hear. And I've thought about, why am I still single? The fear that I've come to, and I know that everything I am about to say is a completely toxic and intrusive and untrue thought, but it's just a thought, and I needed to take a drink to this before I say it. My fears and my insecurities right now, what they tell me is that I am the thing that people think they want, or maybe they want to want, or I am a person that people almost fall in love with until they find what they actually want. But it's never me. It's always someone else. It is just, I'm so close to being, like, no one has ever been in love with me before. I just know it. And like one of my big fears is that I'm like unlovable, or like I'm like impossible to love. And I just feel like I have never like looked someone in the eye and meant as much to them as they mean to me. I have felt unrequited love in as far as like romantic love. I've felt that my entire life, and I truly have at this point like accepted that like and I know I can't say this at 26 and mean it, but yes, what I feel right now as far as insecurity goes is just like I'm gonna die alone. I think maybe people have been like maybe infatuated with me in the past. I know I've been in love at least once, but I think there's something about me, like this like curse that I will never, no one will ever feel the same. And the reason that it's so easy to feel that way is because no one ever has yet. And it keeps not happening. It keeps almost happening and then just not. And you know what sucks so bad is that most days I am okay with being single, but some days I'm just not. Like some days it's just, it just feels lonely. It feels pathetic. It feels like there's something wrong with me. I can't help but feel that human feeling of like just constant rejection. And I know it's silly. I know it's pointless, but like, it's just real. And I know other people feel this way. And every time, and if someone was telling me this, the amount of grace I would have for that person is like, oh my God, like everyone has felt that way before. Like I've felt that way. Like it's okay. You know, you're going to find someone. You are going to be okay. You're not going to be alone forever. You're incredible. Why can't I ever say that to myself? You know, it's just hard because it's hard to believe in yourself, and it's hard to break out of the cycle you've been stuck in, and it's hard to break out of these patterns and these expectations that have been set for you and you have been just getting used to and growing comfortable with for several years. You know, I want to be in a relationship, and I've thought about what I would do, and like in my last relationship, when he would spend the night, and if he had work at like 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. and I didn't work the same day, I would wake up early and like make him like a 4-cheese omelet with like Italian seasoning and like a peppermint mocha, and like just go all out with like whipped cream on top and like powdered, or like I would make him like the most incredible fucking super special secret recipe of French toast, and put like powdered sugar on it and like little raspberries in the corner, and then on top of the coffee or whatever I made him, I would put whipped cream and then like shaved chocolate. I would just make a whole thing of it, and that to me was one of my love languages. And like just to be able to see the look on their face and feel like I did something to make someone happy. Like I just want to make someone happy every day, and I just hate waiting, you guys. I'm just getting real impatient. I'm getting real annoyed, and I'm getting really bored. Like, just, you know, come to me and ask me like, oh, you know, how are you doing on the apps? Like, bro, I am so sick of this. So sick. So bored. It's just meaningless, you know, and you know what? I would go as far as to say that it had a certain value for a specific amount of time, right? Being single and like engaging in like hookup culture, again, mom and dad, hope you're not listening, engaging in like, you know, just casual hookup culture and things like that for so long, that did truly, I don't regret that did truly hold like a certain value to me to a specific extent. And I wouldn't take it back, but after a certain amount of time, you know, like after 2 years of it, like, my God, that feels like a lot. And you know what? If it was 2 years and then I had like a long-term relationship, maybe a year or two long relationship, I might feel in need of single girl, hot girl summer, hoe phase, casual hookup culture all over again. But I've been single through this consistently. And, oh my God, like last year, there was this guy that I started to just like literally fall in love with. And it ended like, and then he found a fucking relationship like a month after he told me, like, okay, I'll start from the beginning. Met this guy. Felt like fate. We were spending time together and acting like a couple for a month. And I said, hey, let's visit the idea of a relationship. Like after a month of getting to know each other, and we were hanging out pretty consistently. Little did I know during that time, he had gone on another date, but was still acting like he was kind of my boyfriend, which I think is very relatable. I think a lot of people go through that, and a lot of people do that. And then after a month, we're sitting in his car, and he's like, I need to talk to you. My feelings changed, which is like, I mean, there's no recovering from hearing that, in my opinion. Like, I was just, he's like, oh, it's nothing to do with you. But of course you say that. Like, everyone says that. It doesn't feel honest, though. It feels like, and that's what happens every time. It's just like people change what they feel about me. And an insecurity that I picked up or over the past few years is I feel like I'm and I know this sounds bad, but like I feel like I'm just a very easily disposable person. Like I think I'm very fun in the beginning, and it's nice to have me around, like a little trinket to like have fun with, but then as soon as things start to change a little bit or people get to know me a little more, I become either too overwhelming or well, I'm rarely boring, let's be honest here. Like, let's be real. But I think I have this curse. Something about me just isn't worth holding on to people. And I think it's something that I know how this sounds. I know how bad this sounds. I know this. God, this really is like my most honest and sad and emotional episode, which is why I need a drink. Give me a sec. I know how bad this sounds, but I just can't help it. If I could change these feelings, I would. And I don't always feel this way. It's just on bad days, you know? And like, God damn it, everyone has bad days. And sometimes I wish I had more control over my emotions and over these thoughts. And I know they won't last. And I know that I shouldn't listen to them. But it's just so hard sometimes. And I'm a lonely... I know this is going to be very relatable. I just get lonely sometimes, and yeah, I feel silly and I feel pathetic for feeling this way because, like, my God, you know, it shouldn't be as simple as just, oh, I want a relationship, or like, oh, you know, I hate that I've been single for so long. It makes me feel so unwanted. It's like, again, you know, it's the insecurity I said before. It's like when someone meets me, or specifically in a romantic context, if someone meets me, they're like, oh, this could be something that I want, or this girl is like, she's really like special and whatever. And it's like, I only stay special for so long, and then something about people snap out of it, and all of a sudden they want to get as far away from me as possible, and they want me to disappear. And like this past year, like I kind of wanted to disappear too, and I went through a little bit of like a mental health crisis. I won't get into it now, maybe in a future episode, but I want to stick to the topic of like love, romance, and dating. I just feel kind of lonely right now, and I want to find someone who I just have a spark with and wants the same things that I do, and just wants to be like a partner with me, and who I can like be there for and make happy every single day. That's the dream for me. Like, I think about it all the time, and like obviously a big goal is I want to help people, and I want to touch people's lives with what I'm doing on here and the podcast, and like work in music and work in entertainment and do whatever. But at the end of the day, I think what's really going to fulfill me is like I want to love someone, and I want to be loved, and I don't think I've ever meant as much to someone in a romantic way as they have meant to me. And I've never cheated on a partner. I've never like I've always been the one getting my heart broken or feeling rejected, and I'm just sick of it, man. Like, I just want it to end. I'm seeing people around me always being in like long-term relationships and like finding someone special, and I'm so jealous. And I want that. And when you haven't had it for so long, you just feel like you're never gonna find it. Whatever, Anyways, I'm gonna try to, move out of that a little bit and go to my notes, because I do have a way to end this on a positive note, I swear to God. Right, I talked about my mind always defaulting to the worst case scenario, love and relationships, and sorry, almost started crying a little bit there. I know how to end it. Christmas presents and birthday presents. Give me a sec. Holidays are coming up. It's spooky season right now. This episode should be coming out on, a Sunday in October. I believe, excuse me. It's been coming out on about the 15th, a few days away, or a few weeks away from Halloween. But then December, November, December, it's getting towards Christmas. When we were younger, do you remember when we got socks as presents and we'd be pissed? Bitch, do you know how bad I need socks every year? Hey, Mom, I know I told you not to listen to this episode, but if you are still, get me socks every fucking year. I don't care. I know you bought me this dress for my birthday. Thank you very much. Dad, thank you very much for this necklace. But every stocking stuffer and just throw in every present a nice pair of socks. Okay? Do you guys feel me on this? Everyone listening who's not a parent and who's lived through birthdays and Christmas, which I know you fucking have, or Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, I don't care. Gotten presents before. Remember when you would get socks and you would hate it as a kid? And now you're always somehow losing socks. Where the fuck are they all going and you need more socks? Or they just get holes. They just get holes. I'm wearing mismatching socks right now. I'll tell you what. I wish they were matching. You know what I mean? Wow. Got the sniffles because I'm a little sad girl. Anyways. Yeah, that's that on that. And if you're out there and you're interested and you're single and hot and young and wow, am I really out here looking for a potential partner via my podcast? Am I really out here making a podcast episode about a guy that I barely know, who I have a little crush on? For the record, we did kiss many, many times last week, okay? So it's not just based off of nothing. Yeah, why haven't I been locked down yet? It's not like I totally handle situations in a logical way. Whatever. Okay, all right. I think it's a good place to end it. Socks for presents. Did I write anything else down? What other topics did I want to visit? Yeah, I just everyone, let me know if you're feeling this same way that I am, All right, love you all. Thanks so much for listening to the Finn Invasion. I have been Autumn Finn. Please leave some reviews. Oh my God, I really need some ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Please, 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 please. I think the next episode will be the one I recorded with my friend Carling, I believe. Love her. She's incredible. Right, everyone. You know what I will ask of you. Yeah, comment, subscribe, leave reviews, leave 5 stars. All right. I think that's all. And I'm hungry. I think I'm going to get some food. Peace out, y'all. Mwah, kisses. Bye. Oh, thanks for listening. Holy shit, I almost forgot. Oh my God. Remember, if you feel like you don't fit in on this earth, don't worry. Just know, always remember, you are out of this world. Thanks for listening, guys.